We heard it for months in the lead up to The Little Mermaid. Disney, the mainstream media, everybody was doing their best to run defense for The Little Mermaid, to try to set it up like, hey, if this fails, we know why. It's because of all these racists out there. When the reviews started to come out, we saw that happen. The very first weekend, this is the headline: Little Mermaid splashes to 164 million global bow, but there's something fishy overseas as Disney pick beset by review bombing. It got to the point where IMDb changed their rating system because there was too many bad reviews. They blamed it on toxic trolls. They blamed it on racists who didn't like black people. It was even described as ratings terrorism. That's what they called it. Ratings terrorism if you don't like something. We knew that they were going to use this. They were going to use diversity as a shield for any criticism. And here we are. But now there's something that doesn't make sense. Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, haven't seen it, can't tell you how good it is, but it's doing pretty well at the box office. But it's also doing really well when you look at the reviews. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, 96% verified, 95% all audience score. That's weird, Jeremy, because we were told that the reason that the all audience score is so bad here is just because of racists. Because racists came out, they review bombed The Little Mermaid because it had a black person in it. Well, maybe that's just Rotten Tomatoes. Well, Metacritic, if they actually show me, Little Mermaid has a 2.2 user score on Metacritic because of all these supposed racists and people that just hate black people. Yet somehow, Across the Spider-Verse is an 8.5. Please tell me, Jeremy, how did the mainstream media supposed to spin this one?
Make no mistake, being a fan is a detriment to you in the eyes of the mainstream. Fans are constantly under attack from these outlets, from the powers that be. And again, the first time we really saw this all fall apart and break down right before our very eyes was The Last Jedi. It's what really moved me in the direction of where I went back in 2017, 2018, where I saw that they released a film that didn't go over well with the fans. And as I said many times, when it comes down to it, I can accept a bad movie and move on. What I can't accept is you blaming the fans for your mistakes. And that's what we have seen time and time again. They have consistently blamed the fans when they make bad films. They don't want to take any responsibility whatsoever. And you being passionate about these things, you caring about these things, you being into these things for all of these years, it's a negative in the eyes of places like Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm hates Star Wars fans. They hate that you care about these things. They hate that you have nostalgia for it. They despise it. And we're seeing the same exact thing with this right here. They hate the fact that people love the 1989 Little Mermaid movie. They hate it. They love the fact that they can market off of an iconic film and an iconic character that has this following, but they hate the fact that you hold them to a standard because they think they know what's best for you. And people, again, are finally seeing through this. How obvious is it when you have The Little Mermaid that is being criticized widely, rightfully so, and then they say it's just because of racism? Very next week, Into the Spider-Verse comes out with Miles Morales, and everybody loves it. People are finally realizing what's going on here, and they're weaponizing your fandom against you.
I guess the orders didn't go out. We ran out of racism. You only get one racism a month, maybe. There's a certain limit. I don't know what's going on, but you would think that if people were just so racist, if that was the reason that it was getting review bombed because of racism, you would think that they'd have that same energy just a couple days later for the Miles Morales movie, but apparently not. So I don't know what the next excuse is from the mainstream media, but I'm sure they're working on it right now.